Hello Taurus, welcome to your monthly chakra healing video for the month of May. There is a lot going on. I pulled a lot of oracle cards, and I'm going to be pulling a lot of oracle cards for this specific month just to give you guys some more messages. We're going to get into your cards, but I'm going to just say, just out of the get-go, you guys are going to be losing people this month. You guys are going to be very emotional with your losses. There is going to be people that are literally, whether they passed away already or are going to be passing away, within your space, within your area. There's just a lot of going on, and you guys are going to be feeling a lot of emotions. So brace yourselves. But I'm just going to show you the main cards, and then we're going to talk about your oracle cards. Your bottom of the deck is the Chariot and the Seven of Pentacles. I'm not really surprised about this. There's Cancer season and Cancer energy. It's like creeping. It's definitely creeping up, and it's definitely, it has underlining stuff. This is why this is in the underlining. There's a lot of stuff leading up to Cancer season that is still in the works, so just be mindful. Okay, so your root chakra, you have the King of Cups. Your sacral chakra is the Two of Cups. Your solar plexus is Judgment. Your heart chakra is Death. Your throat chakra is the Fool and the Two of Wands. Your third eye is the Two of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, and the Four of Cups. And your crown chakra is the Queen of Cups with the Nine of Cups. Now, there's way too many cups in here. There's literally no earth energy in this situation, like, at all, besides your bottom of the deck and like your third eye, but that's like in the future. That's what's coming. That's what's upcoming for you guys. But you guys have no earth whatsoever at all in this reading. Besides in the future, you have a little bit of fire, but it's all water. All of it is water, and it's a lot. It's gonna feel like a lot. It is a lot. We're gonna talk about it though. Okay, so for your oracle cards, you have cleaning house, details, listening. You have let it go, trust, and find the blessing in your current situation. Then you have Taurus and Moon for your main energies that are going to be affecting you for this month, which are obviously not surprising at all. You have transformation and purification from your goddess oracle. And you also got from messages from us set, you got 3 cards. Oop. And they flip. So you have Divine Destiny. Just gonna hold it up so you can pause it and read it. Okay. You have Serpent of Fire. And you have Miracle of Isis. Okay, so what is going on? Mind you, this was the first card that came out, and when I saw this, I was like, haha. So, lots of stuff. Okay, so what is going on with you guys? You guys are definitely going through a transitional phase where there's just a lot of death happening, and it's kind of happening all over the place to the point where you're just getting really overwhelmed. There is an overwhelming factor to your emotional energy. This is why this is happening. Because you guys are an earth sign, when you add too much water to the earth, what do you get? Mud. You get mud. You guys are muddy this month. You guys are not necessarily feeling like yourselves, even though it's your birthday, and happy birthday. But you guys are definitely not necessarily feeling that. You're feeling a lot of emotions. You're seeing a lot of changes happen. You're seeing a lot of people being released. You're seeing, and on a spiritual level, you're definitely feeling the death of it all. I haven't even done Scorpio's reading yet, but I do wonder how all of this actual death that has been happening for the past couple of weeks has been affecting them on an emotional level. Because when you see what's going on in the world, and you guys are very much in connection to the world like that, you guys pay attention to what's happening, what's going around, you know, like what's fresh, what's new, like what society loves, because you guys love to find new things to love. That's just what you guys do. And when you see society like in pain from losing their jobs and not being able to pay for groceries, or, you know, like the government trying to force everybody going back to work, and then there being a second wave, because that's definitely going to happen, and people just dying left and right. I had a whole situation past couple of weeks ago where it was just back to back for a whole weekend. It was just me getting calls of people that I know getting it, and people passing, people struggling through it, and it was just like so back to back that energetically and emotionally I did the Aquarius thing where I detached, but you guys don't have that luxury to emotionally detach at all. But I was really trying not to overwhelm my emotions or drown myself in it, because I was already exhausted from working, because I'm still working. I'm still an essential worker. I'm still working like every day. So I have to conserve my energy, and I have to reserve it for what I need to do. I need to make sure I wake up every day. I need to make sure that like I am still capable of doing what I need to do, so I can take care of what I need to take care of and be okay. And it was definitely a very intense week, because it was literally back to back, to the point where I was just like, okay, I've heard literally almost everything. I'm just like, okay. And then I also had the moments which I was watching a lot of what's going on in society with the news, and like how there was protesters and stuff, and then the protesters literally days later, boom, they got the coronavirus, they were at the hospital. And there was a lot of karma that I saw being dealt socially. There's a lot of social karma happening. So for me, I'm changing my perspective of the way I'm seeing what is happening, in order to kind of deal with the changes, and also make sure that I'm okay, and that I'm still aware of what's going on. So it's definitely a lot. It's definitely overwhelming. I just feel like this month for you guys is not the easiest. There's going to be a lot of things coming up in the news, socially, and within your own family space, within your friend circle. It's going to affect you on a personal level, is what I'm saying. Whether or not it already has, but it definitely is going to affect you on a personal level. Now, what is Spirit saying for you to do this month? This is definitely something that is going to be very hard, and it's not something that it's easy to tell someone, especially in the culture that we have, where it surrounds death and transition. And the reason why this is important is because back in the day, in ancient times, we were not afraid of death. Most cultures didn't have a word for death either. So it was this whole fear of death thing, is basically, the fear of death is something that kind of came up out of a modern insecurity of what life would transition to, what life, it's almost like holding on to life. And this is also when the whole ghosts thing started to happen a lot, and a lot of hauntings started to happen, because humans became attached to the physical realm and did not like the transition that was death. So they just kind of started to fear it and have these kind of negative connotations towards death, and feel like, you know, death is the worst thing that can happen to you. And death is the biggest like problem. And even though, yes, like a lot of people are dying, and that is an important part of what's happening to society right now, it's still important to process death for what it is at the end of the day. And I feel like for a lot of people, a lot of you guys, especially you guys, because you guys are very stubborn, you don't know how to let go. You're just not in a place where you know. So you're being told by spirit, hey, you need to let go. I need you guys to release. I need you guys to move forward. I need you guys to be in a better place. I need you guys to just trust that when you release the negative connotations of what death is supposed to be, that it's gonna look different, that it's going to feel different. And this is why you have the card, find the blessing in your current situation, because even though death can seem like it's a very daunting thing, and it can be a very quote unquote dark thing, it can also be a very beautiful thing. And there is a blessing that happens when you allow it to actually take place. And when you're seeing some like it happen in the physical realm in the way that is happening now on a major scale, globally, the way it's happening, it's like, wait, where's the blessing in that? And it's just like trying to kind of make it into a positive thing when it just feels like it's not, because it's a very harsh time, and it feels like such a, it almost feels like a plague in many ways. But there are things to be grateful for within your situation, and finding the blessings within your within the issues that have arisen from this, whether it is in your personal relationships, whether it is somebody close to you that's passed, whether it is somebody that you like just had this really deep connection with, or maybe you just saw that person, maybe it was your neighbor and you just saw them and they were just really nice every time they saw you, that you just had this kind of routine with them that you were accustomed to, and now they're gone and you're just like emotionally feeling so weird about it. There's just a lot of pain there, but there's also a lot of beauty and understanding how humans transition, and allowing people to transition in that way without necessarily making their transition into a huge negative, emotionally negative thing. So there is a reason like why everything is happening, and at the end of the day, you have to find what that blessing is in that current situation, and that's up to you to decide. I cannot tell you what that's going to look like, but at the end of the day, you do have to seek that knowledge for this month. And it's really interesting because you guys got cleaning house, details, and listening. What is it that you need to hear? What is it that you need spirit to tell you? What is it that somebody else needs to communicate to you? What messages do you need to listen out for, to be mindful for? What is it in the details that you guys need to be captivated for? And it's funny because this card also came up in the patron reading for this week. When you flip it over into the magnifying glass, it actually says clarity right there, and it says important notes. So what is it that you need clarity on? It's almost like a call and response. You guys are calling and you're waiting for a response, and it's just not necessarily getting to you as fast as you want. Maybe you had somebody pass and you're trying to contact their spirit and they're just not reaching back yet, and that's not necessarily your fault. It's just that you also have to allow them to feel the transition. There is definitely there can be this period of selfishness when someone we know or a family member, ancestor passes, where we might want to connect with them right away, and maybe they're not ready. Maybe they're getting used to what their reality is right now. Maybe they just need some time. Maybe they need to be properly welcomed and integrated, and in setting that intention. So there is definitely this energy of like, hold on, let me reset and become accustomed to this new reality, because haven't been accustomed to it. This is a different change for me, and I'm still trying to deal with the stuff that's going on. I do see like moving forward, you guys are going to be able to release this energy and be in a different place, be a little bit more grounded. But as of right now, you guys are waiting for things to move forward and progress, and for you guys to be emotionally back feeling good, and, you know, not kind of being just overwhelmed, or, you know, like feeling so like that aching feeling of like having that connection with someone and then losing them at the same time. When I was getting this whole bottom of the deck, I was like, wait, The second I got this card, I was like, oh no. And then I just kept getting all of these, and I was like, oh no, they're gonna be going through a lot this specific month. I feel like the best way for you guys to deal with this energy is to actually work with your ancestors this month. There is definitely a connection with you guys are working with the dead this month. So do what you can. Light a candle for them. Like, do what you can on a spiritual level, because you guys have so much water happening. You guys can actually take the time to do more spiritual work and actually use your emotions to help and to connect with them in that way on an emotional level. Like, hey, like, I understand you're scared. I understand it just happened to you. I'm just sending you love. I'm just sending you peace. Whatever it is, whatever intention it is that you want to send, it's a very beautiful thing to do right now. I do feel like, as far as your chakra blockages for this month, you guys just will be very emotional. You need to understand the process. Go with the flow. Go with your process. I know it's your season, and I know, like, maybe some other signs are going to be enjoying it more than others. Taurus energy is one that I personally love. I live for Taurus energy. So I'm having a very good, I'm having better months than I did during Aries season, but I understand that you guys might not be going through that same experience. So it's definitely different. And I feel like in many ways, emotionally, you guys are exposed, but try to do the best you can to ground yourself. Give yourself a spiritual bath. Try to connect with your ancestors, and really just flow with your emotions. At this point, you're just going to have to allow those transformations to happen, allow the death to happen, allow people to go through their process. But you guys definitely need to just detox, cleanse, reconnect, reground yourself. You might need to do a weekly bath for yourselves, to be honest, if I'm just being completely honest. So yeah, so that is your monthly reading. I hope you guys got what you needed messages wise from the reading. I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Patreon as well, because we're always growing over there. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye.